Before we start, I've been saying that Adrian Grünberg is actually Adrian Grünberg.
I mean, if you're asking, it's Adrian Grünberg.
Adrian Grünberg.
Adrian, but Adrian is fine.
Okay.
No. I am Hispanic. I don't look it, but I am.
Okay.
It would be Adrian, but it's Adrian and Grünberg.
Grünberg. Okay.
It does have the umlaut.
Yeah.
My original name. So yeah, it would be.
All right. Well, that's good to know. I always like to ask when I'm not sure, because otherwise I say the name wrong the whole time. And then once I'm done, I'm like, I'm such an idiot. Damn it.
No, it's good to start with that. I agree.
But I guess I'm here with Adrian Grünberg and director of Black Demon. Oh God, I want to start with so many things. I guess I'll start with the Black Demon. So pretty much ever since Jaws came out, Steven Spielberg just hit it out of the park and just made life hell for anyone that wanted to make a shark movie afterwards. But this one took has a different sort of spin to it, because I think it plays more as a ghost story than it does a shark movie. It does play like a shark movie, but it's got a very ghost story element. What was kind of the development process of that, and the story writing process of that, and then you as a director coming on?
I think, and you said it well. I mean, the bar with Jaws is too high to try to come even close to it. So you find ways, you find different avenues. What attracted me to this story was the whole Hispanic element in it, and the whole mythology element, and trying to tell a story of a family, and hopefully with some sort of a social message, and then bring the shark in, and trying also to make the shark he's not a lovable character, but he's not mean by nature. He's here for a purpose. There's a reason the Black Demon gets summoned, and it's when things go wrong. So it's not really a killing machine. Its objective is to tear this thing down, really, and stop the massacre happening in the water in this little place. Right? You can also extrapolate it on a bigger scale, but we're dealing with this little place. And that's what originally attracted me to the story. And then the ability of even going further into the Mexicanism of the whole thing, to me, sort of drew me in. And because I grew up with Jaws, there are definitely Jaws references in the movie. And in my opinion, I could not do a movie about a shark without paying some sort of tribute to Steven Spielberg. And there are definitely a number of places where I did, where they're intentional in there. So
Also with I noticed, like, in my my knowledge of what a second unit director, assistant director does is limited. So if I'm speaking out of turn, you can correct me, because that's how we learn. But you've done a lot of that on, like, Edge of Darkness, Apocalypto, Jarhead, like a bunch of stuff. And from what I know of that, is the assistant director is the one that shoots, like, all the non-acting scenes, I guess, like more of the action stuff. And a lot of your Get the Gringo, Last Blood, and this have really well done action elements. Did spending so much time being an assistant director kind of teach you how to shoot action?
So just quickly, the second unit director is the one that shoots the second unit, which traditionally in Hollywood would be action sequences, although throughout the years that has changed. So you have the ability of shooting whatever is needed for the project in particular, and that may vary. And the assistant director is more of a logistical enterprise, where you sort of gather all the information from everybody and make sure everybody has everybody else's information, and you put it in a context that then can be used to shoot properly and in order and in a timely manner. But what I will say is, having the ability to work with all those amazing directors, which I have had the honor of sharing a set with, have definitely help make me the director I am today. So I do recognize Mel Gibson in my directing. I do recognize Oliver Stone in things I do, or Ed Zwick, or Jim Jarmusch. I see that in me. So it definitely is or has been important in my career.
Also, a lot. Well, all of your. I haven't seen Louis Miguel or Here on Earth, but I Get the Gringo, Last Blood, and Black Demon all take place in Mexico or near Mexico. And even a lot of the stuff you've worked on early is representation of Latin America or just Mexico in general seems very important to you. Can you kind of speak on that?
Well, look, my parents are from Argentina. I grew up in Spain, and I've been living in Mexico for 30 years. So I am more Hispanic than Anglo, for sure. But I have both worlds. But I know the Latin culture because I am the Latin culture, and I have been privy to many sides of it. And looking how I look in a country like Mexico, there's a foreign element about me here, in the sense that people immediately don't look at me and say, "Oh, he's Mexican," but I am, and I love the culture, and it's what I'm closer to. Even though I think I have a good grasp of other things out there, I am Latin. So, and I am an immigrant in this country. I've been here for almost 30 years now, but I'm a Mexican citizen, but I'm a guest, and I was a guest for a long time, and so I as an immigrant, you tend to appreciate what you see more than if you were just born there, in my opinion. So yes, I think the whole Latin aspect of life is very important to me, and particularly Mexico.
And with Get the Gringo, that's the only movie you've written, or at least that's the only thing that you're credited as having written. Do you have any plans of writing anything in the? Because I love Get the Gringo, and I kind of love your voice in that. But do you have any plans on writing anything in the future, or was that just something to get the ball rolling on directing your own thing?
I'm not a writer by trade. I enjoy writing, although I enjoy it in a collaborative state, which is what happened with Gringo, and that was what was great about it. I do rewrites on everything I do, so there's even a script like Black Demon, which I get, there's a lot of me in that script as well. Yeah, the short answer is yes, I would like to eventually, but like I said, I'm not a writer by trade, so it doesn't come. It's a tougher thing for me to do. It's a very particular set of skills that one has to be a writer and to be whatever it is you are. But and I don't know that I have all of them, but I definitely enjoy the process of being with people and writing and rewriting.
Is also it says on the email, and I can cut this if I'm not even supposed to talk about it, but it says you're in production with something now. What are you currently working on?
Yeah, I'm working on a series for Netflix that shoots here in Mexico. This is the reason why. Thank you for being here on a Sunday, because I'm full on the week, and it was really the only time I had. But so we're deep into production, and hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have something coming out. It's an adventure series that I'm working on.
I guess last question is also my co-host Bruce we have a what's in the box segment, and the box has a bunch of movies. We have people put movies in. These are movies that maybe are deeply personal to you, or possibly a movie that you saw recently or a long time ago or whatever, that's like, no, that's movie's so good and no one talks about it. Is there a movie you would like to put in the box?
Sure, I'll put The World According to Garth.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's like you said, it's one of those movies that I saw 30 years ago, which touched me in a particular way, and I continue to watch it maybe once a year, whatever, or anytime it pops up in my mind. and I use it as reference for a number of things. It's not a classic. It's not. It's just something that touched me very much when I saw it the first time, and it continues to do so. So,
all right, yeah, that's a great pick. Adrian, thank you for joining me today, and I hope everyone gets to watch The Black Demon, because it's I would tell people, well, by the time this airs, our review would have came out, but I really appreciate that this kind of, it's got the shark fun, but it's not exactly the movie you might think it is on the surface, and I really appreciate that. And I think in the pantheon of shark movies, doesn't quite reach Jaws, but I don't expect it, but it's still top tier shark action.
I appreciate it, and that's a place we would want to be. So thank you for that.